It's a rainy morning right here in Lagos, Nigeria, but trust me, the rain ain't gonna stop our flow. Let's just look at these drops as showers of blessings, ushering us into the new week. So, on that note, welcome one, welcome all to a brand new week on Jasiri. May the force be with you, because we've got great conversations and great guests lined up for you this week. So mark your calendars and join us at 10 a.m. every weekday. I was going to say something else, but... So, guys, don't miss a single show, because you will not be a square peg in a round hole. But before we get into today's business, it seems like somehow we just don't like to be complete on this table anymore. Last week, it was Dashin who was out sick. And now, in Lola's own words, she's gone shaking her derriere in Mauritius for a whole week. We won't talk about that, please. But Dash, welcome back.
Thank you so
much.
much.
How are you feeling now?
I'm a lot better, and seriously, I do not wish what I went through last week on my neighbor. I gave her details. I seriously went through all that. I was like, yeah, but then...
See, when I didn't hear from her from Tuesday, I was like, no, this thing has entered. He's doing Dash in a very strong thing.
Did she tell you?
And I'm usually a very strong person.
Yeah.
I pushed through, but, I just could not take it.
You and the bathroom were very close.
No, we're very close. We're close this morning as well, by the way, but it wasn't that bad. Yeah.
I had to ask her, let's retrace our steps. What happened? What was a new thing you ingested? Because sometimes it's just probably your body not used to certain types of food.
Yeah, there are like two culprits right now. I'm not sure which one. No, honestly.
She's had a lot of time to reflect.
I did.
While she was making friends with the bathroom.
You see, where is this coming from?
I actually explained to her. I told her about one of the meals that I had, and she was like, "Hey, you had that?
What was it? From where?
I can't say it on air.
Because we'll blame you.
I can't say it on air at all.
There's some meals you're very careful about where you get it from.
And the second possible culprit is what?
I can't say it. So no, I'll tell you later.
Okay, you'll tell me off air, Abby. No problem. Kat, how was your weekend? You haven't done that in a while.
Man, I don't know. The weekend just sped by, frankly. Man,
there was no weekend. All you remember is Friday. When we left here.
I was telling you, I said, going to the salon to do... It just felt, everything felt overwhelming. And I just said, no, I'm not moving on.
I made sure I went to the grocery store on Friday night. I did not leave from the time I entered my house on Friday. This morning is the first time I'm stepping out. I refused to leave my house this weekend.
That's why you went to do groceries on Friday night?
Yeah, because I said this weekend I go nowhere.
And that's the reason why she's glowing.
Yeah, because I rested and I Netflixed and chilled with my boo.
Oh, really?
Yes. And then I made, you didn't see the roasted fish I made, the great fish.
So God has, I thank the Lord our God, because it does not any time to look post on the status. Somehow I miss it. I'm not a status watcher, but if
Lola did not miss it.
Lola never misses your
Lola
status.
never misses it.
If I had seen what you posted, I would just say, address, please.
That's why you should stop eating in strange places, my darling.
Honestly, no, I usually cook. I cook a lot. In fact, the funny thing was, the week before, I had cooked, like 3 different types of meals.
But sometimes
and I started
tired of your own food.
Yeah, I got tired and I was like, oh, let me just try this, and that was it. For the whole week, no.
Maybe we should do something where we exchange food.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Because sometimes she's right, you get tired of your own cooking.
Yeah,
when I finish cooking, I can't eat.
Okay, let's talk about it. We make it happen. We will make it happen. But the other thing I learned this weekend is that women like me who wear leg chains apparently were the problems of society. If you don't know what I'm referencing, just go online. You'll see it. That women like me that like to wear leg chains
were the
problem of society.
Oh, it's since.
Yeah. How?
I don't know. I'm not even going any further. I'll just say. I'm making sure you guys can see it well.
Look at this.
I know.
So I'm a problem as well.
I saw a picture of Felicity. She posted up somewhere with her own. I said, Felicity, they say we're the problem of society. I'll dish you about it. But the other thing,
rings as well.
You guys, you don't know what.
Rings are really nice.
We're on Monday morning TV.
That's true. Maybe we should Jasiri on the street it.
Yeah. Did you hear that laugh? Dashing.
What is it?
Okay, let me tell you the other thing because we have to go for a break. Another thing that I learned this week, I've heard about it, but I'm happy we're talking about it in Nigeria, is reproductive abuse. Have you guys ever heard of reproductive abuse?
I think I glanced past it. It was shared in a group that I was in, and it caught my attention because, and I just said it to my dad, like, what, is this a thing?
Yes, it is. Men who intentionally ensure that their woman stays pregnant.
Oh.
And not because, they like babies. It becomes a form of coercive control. We're going to talk about it one day. But anyway, let's start this show on a lighter note than what I just gave you. And I mean a broad note. Hopefully this story will keep Catherine's parade of positive energy high this morning. So if you were on social media this morning or this weekend, it's very likely you came across this picture. Please, guys, let's see the picture. What does that look like, ladies?
Ghana must go, Neil.
Let me tell you, yes, your eyes do not deceive you. That is what we in Nigeria call a Ghana must go bag. That ubiquitous item that is found in almost every Nigerian household, home and abroad. But now it's on the runway. For some reason, luxury label Louis Vuitton's deluxe zip-topped leather braided homage.
All these adjectives.
Yeah. Like homage to the Ghana must go is trending once again. And I said trending once again because this is actually old pictures, but I don't know why this story or the conversation renewed itself this weekend. Now, I need one of the ladies to ask me how much.
How much?
Ask me again.
Eloni.
Where? When it was released in 2007 with Louis Vuitton's summer and spring collection, the price was $595.
Approximately how much in Naira?
I did not convert. I was not going to convert Ghana must go. Now it is considered a vintage fashion item and resellers list it from $1,200 to $2,500.
For Ghana must go.
Ghana must go. This is not the first time. Now, this type of debate has come up. In 2017, LV's menswear collection borrowed Bosotho blanket motifs, maize cobs, giraffes, and zigzags and turned them into a $1,900 silk shirt. Another example involves the kente cloth, widely used in fashion, yet often created without financial benefits to Ghanaian artists. This was also the controversy when it came to the Maasai Shuka fabric, often replicated without compensation to the Maasai people. Now, many Africans can't afford the new versions of these items inspired by their own daily lives. Here's the problem. Global brands want the appeal of African style, but they rarely give credit or payment to the communities behind these designs.
Why am I surprised? Is it not Ghana must? No, seriously. It's Ghana must go.
500.
That thing that looks like
of course I did.
That thing that looks like a
approximately
passport.
4 million naira.
4 million naira for that, and that's the small size.
That's what I'm saying. My dear, I can go to Oshodi, I can go to Isolo, I can go to anywhere in Lagos and buy this same small size. And just tell my brothers from the east, I said, can you replicate this thing? And that stamp that looks like a passport stamp when you're entering a country, just stamp it like that. I have my Ghana must go, and it's fine. If they want to run with it, it's all well and good.
Is it a good thing or a bad thing that this has actually happened? Should, Nigeria start to think about trademarking Ghana must goes and, reselling them at a higher price? That way we wouldn't need to be borrowing money anymore.
That means we will then need to trademark everything that comes, kente, material, everything.
No, I think because you find indigenous people having to have these conversations because you're taking things that have meaning to us, that we own, that we have used for not centuries, Ghana must go is, I think, 19-something with the Ghana.
We don't use it for anything.
So no, you know what? Do you know the reason why I'm upset? Okay, when I traveled, Ken is African net sponge. Do you know how much they sell it? $20. Sometimes they do designer versions of our Ken and they sell it for like maybe $100. It's on Amazon.
And they call it an African-American net sponge.
Yes, net sponge.
If you want to
do you know another one that has made me mad? Many years ago, Pako. I'm going to say the Yoruba.
What's Pako?
Pako to often rain. The chewing stick.
The chewing stick.
The chewing stick that they use. Do you know that they packaged it and called it something eco-friendly toothbrush? They were selling one for $50.
Yeah.
So I think
I've seen an ad on that on Instagram.
We need to jump on the train. Imagine us, polishing the Pako.
Yeah, exactly.
They're correcting Pako. They're correcting me in my ear.
What's the difference?
Pako.
Barco.
It's true. It's like, you know what I mean? Imagine us packaging it and selling it because they're doing it already. Let's be sure that it's coming from the right place.
If we are taking it from here, or it is in abundance here, even here, Seth, there are some places where you go and they tell you that, oh, it doesn't look too enough. Why are you using chewing stick? For them, it's like you're reducing your steez, or it's not even a thing. Ghana must go the same thing here.
Yes.
Where have you seen Ghana must go is being used to, what's the word I'm about?
To package.
To wrap. When you travel, you wrap it with that, whatever. But I think that the West is running out of ideas. And so they're tapping into Africa, and they're running into ideas.
No, but
everybody
you
wants to
can
be different
actually tap
in
into
their
Africa,
submissions.
you know, while giving credit, right? What stops them from naming it, you know, Nigerian inspired bag?
You want them to acknowledge that they don't have any creativity? No. You want them to acknowledge that they don't have any creativity?
The funny thing is, you know, if they had even used black people on the runway holding the bag, it would have made a lot more sense. Where you're using white people who don't even know, you know, the history of the Ghana Must Go, where it came from. And, you know, they're walking the runway with it. And then if you ask them, they tell you it's called played.
Oh,
it had played
something bougie sounding and all. The last thing they will do is willingly give credit to, because everybody wants to feel like they are the ones with the nouvelle shows. They are the ones with the new thing, the new kid on the block, the new whatever it is that is new. You are the one that discovered it, and now you're putting pressure on other designers, on other creatives there to look for something from Africa. Nigeria, Ghana,
but that's also
Uganda.
a problem. Everything now becomes African inspired.
Yes.
We are not a country. We are a continent of 54 countries. And some of these things may be regionally acceptable. So let's be honest, in all actuality, this bag is very common across the continent. So this one we can say African inspired. I was so surprised when I found out they have different names for it in Uganda, in South Africa. Ghanaians and of course Nigerians know it, and we know the history as well. So that's another thing. You are appropriating a bag that has a lot of history. I don't think so many people remember the history of what Ghana Must Go bags represented when Ghanaian people were told, you need to leave Nigeria, you need to leave Nigeria now. And so there's the African-inspired conversation. Everything that comes from the continent is African-inspired, regardless of the fact that it might be a people's thing, a thing that belongs to a certain tribe or ethnicity or area. And then when you look at it, let me go back, $595 when it came out in 2007, 891,000 naira. Now, see, guys, they say it's vintage. So because it's vintage, it's more expensive now than when it came out. So the people buying it for 1,200 are paying 1.7 million naira for Ghana Must Go bag. And those who buy for $2,500 are paying 3.7 million. That same bag that I just saw.
I think it's their fellow brothers and sisters that are buying this bag, because I will not want to believe or pass. Je n'arrive pas à comprendre
that a Nigerian or African will go and buy that bag. You'd be surprised.
When you can send your people at home and say, please send me 20 rolls.
Are you talking about that? How about, see, I'm
let me even
sure
send
if
it
you
here.
go to Aba, I'm sure if you go to Aba, you find people who would make carbon copies. They would copy
different sizes.
And we want that, because then we also get into copy. So it's a really messy place. I love where fashion is going. I like seeing things that are inspired by us, but give us our credit. You know, acknowledge the stories. And don't just write it off as inspired. Anybody who sees that bag knows that inspiration did not come from UK. I can't remember who LV, Tom Ford, I think. It did not come from Tom Ford's head.
No. And you know, they copied it inside out. Nothing. There was no form of creativity. They just copied it the way it was. They just, I don't think they even made it. Honestly, if you ask me, see, if you ask me,
this stamp like this, it's so tacky.
And do you know that they don't even have the wherewithal to even put an African country? I'm seeing Shanghai,
London,
Hong Kong, Paris, London, Tokyo.
So no, I will not be surprised if they came into Nigeria to just and then went back to stamp it. I will not be surprised, honestly.
It is such an ugly color.
And it's still finished, because it's still not finished. Don't think that we can actually get up and say that, okay, we need to be recognized, they think they can always shut the lines and all the processes.
But do they even know that these Ghana Must Goes are not really as durable as they were? Because, you know...
that's a different story.
We need to take a break on that. You need to buy the sack version.
We need to take the break on what Dash is about to land on. Take us to break. They're on their own thing. We'll come back. We have more stories for you on a Monday morning.
Thank you for staying with us on Jasiri. We're having so much fun this Monday morning, and moving away from, the Ghana Must Go talk. While the Mandilas and Afriland Towers fire that happened on Lagos Island may have been put out, the aftermath of, those fires are still being felt. Several people lost their lives, in the Afriland blaze, while several were also injured in both fires, and properties worth millions were also destroyed. We send our deepest condolences to those, or the families of those, who lost the loved ones, and to those who lost their colleagues and friends as well. Now, News Central was actually one of the first news stations on the ground bringing updates about the fires that happened not far from each other. While in the course of, reporting live, our correspondent, Israel Eferobor, was assaulted. Let's watch.
All right, so a few days after this incident, the man seen in the video assaulted Israel posted a video on social media apologizing and explaining that he had lost property in the fire and he was not a violent man. This morning, Chinedu Simon, the man in the now viral video, was able to apologize to correspondent Israel Eferobor on Breakfast Central. Take a look.
I'm so sorry. What happened that night? I'm so sorry. I was not on my right senses. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Just that you are a man. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm the only son of my family. To watch everything I have in this Lagos go down. If there's some people that are all mad. So please forgive me. Forgive me, please. I'm begging you. Forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive me, please. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Thank you so much.
Israel?
I hope one day we're going to see, we're going to see. Thank you so much. Please.
I quite understand what you're saying. I really sympathize with you. Sincerely, I sympathize with you. Watching your shop and your livelihood go down the way it did on the horrific night. I sympathize with you. But we as journalists, it's beholden enough to always, be on the side of the people, the masses.
It is as it happens, and that's the only way. That's the only way government can see what's happening. That's the only way the world can see exactly what's happening. I quite understand that you were running high on emotions, and you have rightly apologized, and I accept your apology, which is indeed the right thing to do. I know you've been trying to reach me, but I'm in River State right now. So busy. I've not been able to process everything that has happened in the last few days, but I think I can make exception for you right now and just look at the whole thing again, in hindsight, and say, and I agree with you that yes, emotions are running high, and I know that you're really sorry. For you to be even here today, it shows how sorry you are. So I accept your apology, and I want to believe and hope that everything that you've lost, you will regain everything in tenfold, and it will be well with you. So it's fine. It's okay. I think your name is Chinedu. I don't know if I got that right. And yes, Simon. I'm sure we'll meet very soon.
So he had posted an apology video sometime last week. The fire was on Tuesday. I think around Thursday or so he had posted that video. And we started trying to get across to him. And it's I don't know. It's interesting to me that he apologized, because we don't always see Nigerians taking accountability. Some might say it's because his face is on TV, he's doing that, he's probably suspecting or may think that we want to take it further. But it's when you hear the story, I don't know, are we being emotional? by saying we can sort of in a way understand. I just have a lot of mixed, I not maybe mixed, but I have a lot of emotions around this right now.
I would actually say that it was really mature of him to, come out and say he's sorry. It takes, real maturity. A lot of people would have just ignored, moved on and everything. Yeah. When I remember seeing that particular video and how Israel was shoved, and I was scared for him. I felt like, he could have happened to me.
Destabilized and landed
exactly.
on his back.
A lot of things could have actually gone wrong, and Israel was also professional enough not to retaliate. And we talk about reporters being attacked, on line of duty, in line of duty and everything, and this is it. But when he came out to apologize, I think I saw it on one of the blogs and everything, and I was like, this is actually, big of him. But when people actually thought that he was a thug,
Yes.
and we know how they behave in situations like that. But when he came out to say that, he had lost property and everything, a lot of people felt sorry for him. And I saw so many comments. Let me allow Catherine speak first before.
Oh no, I mean, I'm more or less towing the lines that you and Tolu have submitted, because I think we're very. It's easy for us to forgive.
The tide turns.
It's easy for us to forgive people, especially in the light of what happened. This is his business, among other people who'd lost lives also, but he lost property. Yeah. And in the heat of the moment, although at that time, when seeing Israel shoved, I was like, but Israel maintained decorum and he was very professional, like Dashin said. And if you didn't know, you would think he was a thug. This Chinedu guy, you would think he was a thug, Lagos Island, just protecting his own areas and space. It could have been worse, because he could have shoved Israel, and Israel could have taken a fall, and then something could have... Listen, so coming out to apologize, I don't know whether, his family had come and said, guy, you can't do this, and because you're all over social media, take accountability and move on. Probably it's not good for you. Your PR is not good for business. It's not good for your family and all of that. So he came out to apologize.
And then I like the fact that he came back on News Central to apologize again, because his apology that went viral on the blogs, he said that what they wanted in that moment were not journalists, but firefighters. And, so many people were asking questions like, wasn't it a fire truck that was, behind you?
It was an ambulance.
It was an ambulance, so, right?
Yeah. If you can, it looked like an ambulance. Yes. And funny enough, Israel it's a fire truck. They're telling us, but Israel was also telling him that they were one of those who actually called emergency. And so when he says that what they wanted in that moment was fire trucks and not journalists. This is, for me, where so many people sometimes don't understand the full work of journalists in emergency situations like this. Yeah. We're not part of the story, but in us being on the ground to tell your story, we're able to bring attention to it. We're able to put a human face to it, which is sometimes what happens. When you have emergency situations, we don't take numbers from anyone other than NEMA, whether it's state or federal. So you'll see numbers this place, this place. We don't take those numbers. We're the ones who are asking them, is it safe now? So we keep the story going. Yeah. I don't know if you remember Adeshawa when she covered another fire incident. Yes, I think last year or so in the same Lagos Island vicinity, and she was standing there. We could still see people just milling about, and the next thing, the building behind them is collapsing. That's also us putting our lives on the line. We're not the enemy. And not just the enemy. We're not just a bystander. We're not there to take advantage of your pain. We're there to help you tell a story. We're there to help you put the eyes on it. And I just really want the public to realize that. Yeah, it's really important that you actually stress that. It takes me back to one of the comments that I saw, and it makes me realize that a lot of Nigerians don't even understand anything at all. They just, once they see, and most of them don't even listen. They don't comment they don't comment, because they understand what is actually being posted. Because I saw someone say that, these journalists, all they know how to do is, take advantage of people's pain for content. And I was like, what does that even mean? And I'm glad that you actually brought everything out, saying what journalists, are there for, and the fact that they are not there to take advantage, but to help, in
every area. So.
And you know, when they say we're there to take advantage of people's pain, it's the same us that they'll then castigate if we're not there.
Yeah, exactly.
Where are the journalists? Where is the media? You're not shining a light on this. You're not talking about this. You're not doing this. And we do a lot, but there's also so much we can do. Yeah. And if people continue to look at the press as they're just here to just put the microphone in our face, and I can tell you there are times that press have gone too far. And I believe so. Sometimes even me, I'm like, oh, is this really the moment for this? Yeah. But at that point, he wasn't interviewing anybody. No. He had done his interviews, and we don't interview people who don't want to speak in those situations. Sometimes we'll just stand apart and take the visuals
and if the press were not there, would you have had an idea? Would you have known the extent to, you know, what had actually happened in Mandilas?
Do you understand?
Exactly.
I also think that the bystanders who didn't do anything, like, I don't know.
Who didn't interfere and say, why are you pushing him? Why are you?
To the side and we're observing the scene unfold. And I didn't get that because usually you hear someone say, Baba, don't do now. Or, guy, it's okay, sorry. Or you go to Israel and say, I'm so sorry, guy, hold him up. Or, you know,
I think but
everybody just cross their arms. And I know that, listen, it's a lot because a lot of shops were raised.
120 according to Nima.
Exactly.
120.
And they didn't plan for that. I know how.
And this same place burnt January 2024.
So what is going on?
So they said, so according to Nima, this incident was due to a generator. Fire outbreak at the Popular Plaza was traced to a generating set placed within the complex. While in Mandilas, there were no lives lost. Properties worth millions of naira were destroyed. Emergency response teams, listen to this. Emergency response teams struggled to assess the scene due to illegal structures blocking entry points. Yes. And as of last week, Friday, Lagos State had given a directive that owners of illegal stalls, shops, and extensions obstructing access routes to Mandilas Plaza to remove them by last week, Friday, or risk demolition. I will tell you, the last time I was in Lagos Island was when I was getting married. That was the last. I won't say I was scarred, but I was slightly traumatized. And you go into places, you have staircases, rickety staircases, no banister. People are under that staircase cooking. Under that staircase is generators for different shops. You go inside in different areas, and not just this plaza, but in different areas of the Lagos Island, and you see wires everywhere. So it's like a tinder box.
Yeah, how would the fire service had found access?
Have you ever tried? I remember we were in I used to have to take Balogun Market, Balogun, and then it feeds into Lagos Island. I used to have to take this round home sometimes. The mass of people
so Balogun Island is different. Balogun Market
is in Lagos Island, but there are other named markets around. But this is around Mandilas. This is Mandilas Plaza. So all of them interweave. They're woven into each other, and the places are so close together.
Exactly.
You are creating new shops where they're not supposed to be shops. The road, there are shops are being people selling on the street. I don't even think that anybody knows where the fire hydrants that used to be on Lagos Island actually are.
No, I think this should have been. I wouldn't say demolished a long time ago, but
restructured, reorganized.
It could have been.
They resist.
Reorganized.
Let me tell Kathleen, they resist every time government attempts it. I will tell you that they resist.
So
it's not a healthy place to trade.
These markets, right? They have an association. How about the association force those who have shops to own fire extinguishers? How about that?
Do they even know how to use a fire extinguisher?
It's a disaster. It's not a difficult thing. If you can force them, let Lagos State come in and then do safety drill. On Thursday,
people you say have been resisting progress. It's a disaster. It was a disaster.
Because I'm sure they have end of the year parties and all that. Why not, organize a drill? Teach them how to use it.
When you see those people who are there, all they want to do is sell their market. They don't want to think. Even when you say, look at this.
Because if you look at it, Tolu, they don't even have insurance. So isn't it better? Can you imagine? Isn't it better? Wouldn't it be better for them to even have these fire extinguishers in their shops?
I know someone who lost 3 shops. 3 shops. 3 shops.
See, that's the thing. If the shop owners had been told to vacate the place for like 6 months while they renovate this, they would push back. Because in their minds, what a bird in hand is better than two in the bush. So you just want to be there and manage the space there. But this was a disaster waiting to happen. Look at how the buildings are close together. We all know how Lagos Island is. Lagos Island is tight. But there could have been some coordination and organization in that. Now shops have been... Look at, did you see the inferno?
I saw it. And
another thing, it takes me back to Adeshawa's video. We also are not people who follow emergency protocol.
No.
So at that Adeshawa's video, there are so many people behind her. We saw emergency services working, but there was no barrier, there was no barricade. People are just there milling around. So even in this, I'm thinking, if you hear fire trucks coming, are you not going to do everything you can to move whatever is in the way out of the way? People were standing around, those who own things there and who were in shock, that is a given. But we also are not, we're not responsive, we're responsive. We're not... when we can predict, when we work. You guys are looking at me, and the word is just gone. We're reactive. We're not. What's the opposite of reactive?
Active, Abby.
No.
These ladies are
passive.
No. Is it English class? Reactive. So we don't plan ahead.
We don't plan ahead. Yes, we only do it. We only
react.
React. We do not plan
ahead. Sorry, I scattered everybody's flow.
No, seriously, it's really sad watching this. And you talked about fire hydrants. That means the government actually tried. There
are fire hydrants in places around Lagos. I don't know if water still goes there.
I could not listen, guys. I'm not acting. I'm not saying,
You've never seen a fire hydrant in Lagos?
No, apart from that, I'm not even trying to claim, I'm steezed up and all of that. I wouldn't, I like peace. I would choose anywhere else to shop but there. I would, normal me.
You're a market person, yes.
I will not go there willingly. I won't. Balogun market in itself, I have to begin to calibrate. If I'm going there on Saturday, I have to start to begin to organize my head that, okay, I'm wearing slippers, I'm wearing shorts, face cap.
You're going like,
do you understand? I'm going to get what I'm getting and I'm going out. So, and Balogun is a market full of human beings.
Yes.
So that's Balogun market, not to talk of now Mandilas, where everyone has a shop, 2 shops, 3 shops, in fact, 4 shops. And you see people are milling in and out every day. That was a disaster waiting to happen. And then because we don't react to, we keep saying, it will not be my portion. It can't be my portion.
That's not an emergency plan. That's it's not a plan.
And then when that happens, everybody shouting, yay, oh my God, my goods, I don't die. That is not how to be. In that situation, we have to begin to calm down. Learn how
They said the word is proactive. Eshe, thank you very much. The word was gone.
Proactive.
Proactive. If we're trying to cheat on exam, that's how the 3 of us would have failed together.
Let's go
on a quick break. We'll be back.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Jasiri, the show where we tell bold stories that matter to you and us. Now, let's once again visit Unical, where the administrative decisions of the school are affecting the lives of hundreds of Nigerian students who just wanted to go to school and get their certificates. They walked into lecture halls with hope, studied late into the night with purpose, and trusted the promise of a future in medicine. But today, for many clinical students at the University of Calabar, that promise hangs by a thread, allegedly. At Nigerian_doctor first raised the alarm in a post on X that has now drawn widespread concern. He tweeted, "Dear Dr. Alausa," that's the Minister of Education, and the Ministry of Education as well, the University of Calabar reportedly admitted 700 plus students and has now allegedly withdrawn many of them in a bid to meet MDCN quota, that's the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. This is despite them not failing classes and having CGPA as high as 4.0. As you can read in the NGLs, the decision has evoked strong reactions of despair, and students and parents, I hereby plead with our education and health leaders to kindly investigate these claims as lives may be at stake," end quote. He also revealed that many students had anonymously sent him messages which he attached to the post. Now, back in July, we had a conversation right here on Jasiri with 2 Unical dentistry students who shared what was going on, and this is what they told us then.
Yeah.
Opportunity for us to air out our view on what has been going on in our department. Yeah, really very disheartening. And then since the day we heard the news, I've not slept well. Neither my parents either. Like neither my friends have slept well, and other my fellow colleagues and then my junior colleagues. Because this issue is not an issue that started today. It's not an emergency. It's something that's been there even right from our year 4. We have been hearing that our quota is 10, and then each time we ask questions concerning it, they will always tell us that it is not our problem, that our own problem is for us to do our part, which is read our books, pass our exams, and then when once we pass, graduation is not a problem. So it's really disheartening because it is not a problem that started today. The management is aware right from time, and then they have not done anything concerning it. And it's very bad that we have spent 9 complete years in this school, and then 9, yes, we started this school since 2017 session, and then we have been into this labor from that year till this year, and then we have finally fulfilled all the requirements, passed all our professional exams, and it's time for us to graduate and then move on with our lives. And we have been told that we're not graduating with our medical counterpart. And the induction is to hold on this coming Monday, that is 21st of this month. And then as it stands now, our mates are preparing, snapping pseudo pics, posting their pictures. While we are here walking about, going to the street, begging people to help us and all that. And as it stands now, I'm not really happy. And then
So we had to hide the identity of the students when we spoke to them in July. They requested that so that there would not be any consequences for them. But this is a story that did not start in July. It just really blew up in the news. And what you could hear is that UNICAL apparently over-admitted students, and the provost of their college saying that they expected them to fail, so that by the time they failed, it would balance out the numbers, but that's not what is happening. So now this at Nigerian_doctor is saying that they're withdrawing them. But I spoke to Mujid this morning, Mujid Alabi, who's the editor-in-chief and the team lead for Dev Reporting, and he said that they are actually redistributing the students to other unis, to other universities, and that he had spoken to the vice chancellor, who confirmed to him that they were expecting because the VC confirmed to them that they're expecting some of the students from UNICAL. In fact, it looks like a few of them will be going to UNILAG. So it might be a communication issue. But it would be interesting for us to look at the anonymous messages that at Nigerian_doctor was getting. Because if it's a communication issue, let me know that you're moving me, that I have a choice to pick other schools. This one says, "Good day, sir. Please, UNICAL is removing students from their medical department 200 level after giving them admission and paying tuition fee. And I know 2 who have refused to eat since yesterday and are seriously crying and thinking of suicide. Please help lend them a voice." And they're both on 4-point CGPA. Anonymous plea. At the University of Calabar, department admitted 700 plus students they're still doing it for 2024-2025, far above the quota. Now, many of us are being unfairly screened out despite meeting all requirements. I personally have a CGPA of 4.03 above the cutoff, yet I was dropped. This is unjust and greedy. After 7 years at home, I finally entered med school at University of Calabar with an excellent CGPA. Now I'm being asked to leave under unclear circumstances. My dream of becoming a doctor is slipping away. My heart bleeds pain. Wow. Good day. Let's take this last one. Good day. We, the medical science students of the University of Calabar, need your help. We're dropped from our present department and asked to change to other department. This is unfair as the management has no valid reason for doing such. Students and parents are wishing to take their lives. This is absolutely ridiculous. The NUC, National Universities Commission, the minister needs to get involved. The ministry needs to get involved. MDCN needs to get involved. This is an issue. The students we spoke to are some students who've been in school since 4 or 5 years, yet you're still admitting people from 2024, 2025. I remember, I think one of them said that the course is even still open on the JAM website. It needs to be closed until the university sorts through this problem. Why won't somebody jackpot?
You know, the first time I actually heard of this, it was my first day on this show, and, you guys talked about it. And it was, I really felt pity for the students.
Wait, Dashi, let me let you gather your thoughts. Let's take a quick break. I might need to sit between Catherine and Dashin right now. because we're not necessarily not finding common ground. I am stuck on the fact that regulatory authorities, a whole university, whoever is overseeing this situation seems not to care about the future of these students. Why is UNICAL still able to admit over quota? Why is the courses that are in contention that possibly have issues, why are they still available for students to pick for UNICAL on website, on JAM website, or even open? It's Dash. So it's me that Dash. So sorry.
All right. So I'll see, because you talking about this now. You know, on one hand, the students are saying that they've been dropped and everything, and then on the other hand, Mojid is saying that they're being redistributed. So I think we need to speak to someone from the school itself to understand what is actually happening. Do you understand?
We tried.
We have?
We have.
Because you talked about, probably a miscommunication gap. And I remember the last time we talked about this. This thing has actually gone viral. People know about this. So I don't know why UNICAL would want to be, in the eye
Come
of
out and explain.
A lot is going on.
If you like dodge, you can dodge from now till tomorrow. You still have to come out and
tell us what is going on.
Parents that are paying school fees and putting their children in your hands.
Is it not the same UNICAL that they say you told students to go and learn a trade?
Yes, you owe them an explanation.
And then you're saying you're redistributing them around. Suppose they didn't make such plans.
You can't redistribute 700 students.
So even if you're distributing the 700 students, right now you talked about, Unilab accepting how many?
Exactly.
Which other schools are accepting these students? Come out with a community statement and let us know what is happening, what you're doing about it, because a committee was formed around this, with the hope that these students will not be dropped. Because when you drop them, some of them, like the one that said that, he waited 7 years to enter university. I can only imagine, because I used to know of someone who was in university for 7 years and he killed himself.
Because they just
felt like, no, we're not, we're not good. He had a problem with the lecturer, and the lecturer kept, failing him, and he kept repeating. He ended up killing himself.
Listen, we need to understand that. I want to believe that UNICAL's issue, this College of Medical Sciences, is not a unique issue.
I don't think it is.
There has to be other universities who are towing this line. It's just unfortunate that UNICAL's breeze don't blow. Foul behind, don't open. So for now, I think it is UNICAL in the eye of the storm.
But there must be something they're gaining as well.
There must be something
they're gaining.
Of course. Because colleges of medical sciences in Nigerian universities have a quota. I don't know about other, faculties or departments, but they have a quota.
Yes, we shared it when we had the conversation last.
You can't if your quota is filled, your quota is filled no matter what it is. You expected students to fail. Students are not failing. Medical students these days, their eye don't tear. They are not playing.
Catherine, do you even know what it takes to want to study medicine? You need to be very smart to want to study medicine. So how do you expect them to
that
fail?
Are approved for medicine and dentistry in Nigeria? None of these colleges, I think they have any. Nobody got up to 200. So you have 150, you have 100, you have 50 for some.
And then you have UNICAL,
state and federal universities, 50, 75, 50, 100. That's a lot of medicine. And see how many of them have no dentistry quota.
Yeah.
So even the dentistry students are often limited. If they want to study dentistry, they're limited to where they can go to study dentistry. And that was the big one that we started with in July. And that, again, was under UNICAL. So 200 is the maximum we saw for Osun State University and University of Abuja as well. 50, 50, 120 here and there. So if other universities already have their quotas met, where do you want to put the excess that you want to move? Is NUC giving extra? I don't know if the quota comes from NUC or MDCN. Maybe I think MDCN.
University of Calabar.
Does MDCN, is it going to give like extra spaces for the universities that are taking some of these students so that they can continue their education and get out of the system?
Because the truth is that these quotas have been filled. If you look at the quotas,
a lot of them are filled. It's competitive.
Except, like you said, they're going to be giving them grace to accept these ones.
Yes,
so that they
be able to help. Exactly.
Out of the system. But outside that, they have to take more responsibility. Even if one or two people are benefiting from this, you cannot do this for a long time. You have to decide which direction you want to go and ensure that best practices are met. Not everybody can afford private universities. To study medicine and surgery in a private university is nothing less than
It's still
6
not even
million.
4 years.
I want to hear
And
from
it's
you
not,
girls.
it's not 4 years.
It can be 5, 6 years.
Would it be
There's
such a
6
bad
million,
thing?
there's 7 million, there's even a university that's 12 million.
If you're applying for university, you have first choice, second choice, right? Will it be such a bad thing, you know, for them to give them the second choice?
So even the second choice is
that level
full.
is full.
Even the second choice is full.
I told you off camera that a friend of mine's daughter, she wanted to move her daughter from a university to another university, and she called Bowen University, and they said, okay, give us time, let us go through. So when Bowen reached out to her again, Bowen said, I'm sorry, we don't have quotas available, we don't have any spaces, because whether we like it or not, the students did well. She
So
said
they have no space. Nobody has failed out.
Nothing.
No one failed. So what are we talking about?
So what is
then?
so hard in saying we don't have space?
Exactly.
But accepting them and, you know, letting them go after a few years, that's
It's
real
wicked.
evil. That's
No, it's wicked.
very
It's
wicked.
absolutely wicked. This is
Very
a situation
evil.
we will continue to spotlight because it's one that we're very vested in. We see young people choosing to leave this country in any manner, in any which way possible. Last week we had the conversation with the representative of the IOM. The last story we're supposed to get to, just let me tell you guys, is that we had a number of Nigerians who were returned. 148 Nigerians were repatriated from Sudan. Sudan that has been in civil war for how many years? They were in Sudan. 25 men, 27 women, 39 boys, 57 girls and families who had endured in the conflict zone. And one thing that might shock you, when he came last year, guess what? The states with the highest number of people leaving through illegal routes. Just try to guess.
Kano.
How did you guess? Did you watch the show? Did you watch the show?
I didn't.
Kano. So this flight actually landed in Kano. It landed at the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport.
Is it because you thought of Sudan? Then you thought...
No, because when you talk about, I know so many people in Kano, you know, are living through, you know, these routes, you know, and everything. So I'm really not surprised.
We were surprised. I was shocked. I won't lie.
We didn't.
I was actually shocked. I didn't expect it. So when you have a situation, you waited 7 years to enter university. You're in university now. We don't know what families have done to scrape together the school fees. We don't know what they've done to keep these young children in school. And then a school says, oh, we might have to withdraw you. Oh, we might have to drop you. Oh, we might need to send you to another school because we have overshot our quota. The responsibility is in the hands of the university. There's no one else.
I'm telling you.
Tertiary, first level is the university. Then MDCN. What are you doing? It's not enough to say you told them to stop admitting over quota. It's not enough, obviously, because somebody's flouting your rules and regulations.
Tolu, do you even know that I read somewhere on the news that University of Calabar, you know, has actually banned Students Association over reckless social media users?
Yeah, because they're afraid of the social media, the power of social media, and that students might use that to their advantage and expose all these wrongs that are going on there.
So now, if you come out, I'm so happy we protected their identity.
Faculty of Law. The Faculty of Law.
Of all places.
Faculty of Law.
So if you come out to say something, okay, maybe you have not had life for 3 weeks, they can want to come and suspend you because you did a social media.
So why do you think they're actually posting anonymously? Because they're afraid. The students are afraid.
And it's because the institution doesn't listen to them. You don't give them the ear or the belief that whatever it is that you say, usually you're catering to the students. You're a university. You are home to the students.
They're your primary audience.
Yeah. They should be able to listen. You should allow them to speak. Let them have a voice and let that voice be heard. So this snuffing out their lights and snuffing out their voices, I don't understand. It's a new wave to mitigate the effects of social media because you don't want the spotlight to be on you guys because of social media. But you can't. You can only do that for so long, but you cannot succeed in quieting the students.
According to Premium Times, you know, there's also a story, 138 million naira fraud, you know, that's Unical, ASU, has been accused of 138 million.
University of Calabar.
I want to go back to this the Department of Law or whatever. MBA, I would love to hear what you think about a Department of Law being the one to tell students that they cannot use social media. It'll be very interesting. Unical, you owe everyone an explanation, the students and the parents. And don't think that it's only happening in Unical. No. So this is an issue we all need to continue to raise our voices for. As we fight for those students, we're fighting for the future of education in Nigeria.